Let's bring in Claire Paccalin for us now. She's our reporter in Jerusalem today. And Claire, look, let's take a look at one of our main angles today on this story. That is the Israeli Defence Minister Yoav Gallant visiting the north of Israel near the Lebanese border and again suggesting a ground incursion into Lebanon could be imminent.
Certainly, Yoav Gallant, the Israeli Defence Minister, telling troops up near the border with Lebanon in the north of Israel, telling troops that while it was important to have eliminated Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, it was not the final step. Israel has always said that its aim is to allow its citizens to live in security in the north of the country. Over 60,000 been evacuated from their homes and have been living outside of the area for nearly a year now. And those who are still living in the north are living with the sounds of sirens going off regularly and the desire to have a more secure situation, a more comfortable situation. I was in the north of the country yesterday and last week. People there telling me that they are anxious and that they are wondering whether they can stay or not. Of course, going in on the ground is a completely different matter from bombing in the skies. And I've been speaking to Israelis who have told me that on the one hand, they feel like it might be the right time to strike now and to go in on the ground because Hezbollah is clearly severely degraded. On the other, they are concerned for the lives and the safety of Israeli troops, and that going into enemy territory would clearly mean a difficult situation for some Israeli troops, given that Hezbollah still has the ability to send rockets into Israel. They have not been wiped out by any means in the south of Lebanon, and some Israelis say they fear for the lives of their troops. And it's a divided situation here in the country, this potential, this question mark over whether or not a ground incursion will take place. But certainly the leaders here in Israel are hinting towards a possible ground invasion and one that could be imminent.
And Claire, you mentioned you were in the north of Israel yesterday. Tell us exactly where you were and what it was that you witnessed there.
I was in Safed, which is about 12 kilometers from the border with Lebanon. It's a town which has been living to the sounds of air raid sirens going off regularly. There are some public shelters where people go, but many people don't have shelters in their homes, and they only have 30 seconds to get to the safest place possible because they're so near the border. And when the rockets fired from Hezbollah come across the border, well, they reach Safed and the surrounding areas where there are several army bases pretty quickly. I was speaking to a resident there called Lila, who was standing outside a house that was totally destroyed in a rocket attack by Hezbollah on Friday evening, just hours after Israel killed Hassan Nasrallah. And she told me that her home was nearby and that she was, of course, clearly very worried about the situation. I think we can listen to Lina now.
Because of the fear of air raid alerts and everything we're going through here, we haven't had visitors coming to Safed for nearly a year. It's a death sentence for businesses. Some have already closed.
So that house that was hit by the rocket, no one was home at the time, so no one was injured. And Israel's air defense system, the Iron Dome, does manage to intercept most rockets coming through, but that one slipped through. And of course, if someone had been at home that night on Friday night, well, it would have been hard to imagine anyone getting out of that alive. So people in the north of Israel are telling me that they're living with anxiety and they would like to get some security back in their lives. But the possibility of a ground invasion of Israel into Lebanon is certainly something that means escalation, and it's certainly something that people in Israel are thinking very hard about at the moment.
Claire Paccalin reporting for us now from Jerusalem yesterday in Safed in the north of Israel. Thank you.